Today's objective: I can multiply by 10. Let's review. What strategies can we use to solve our multiplication problems? We know that we can use our equal groups, where each group has the same number of objects. We can also use our array, our rows and columns, to show the number of groups and our total. We can also use repeated addition, adding the same number over and over again to get our total. Let's review our vocabulary. What is a factor? When looking at this multiplication sentence, which numbers are our factors? What is a product? In looking at this sentence, which one of those numbers is the product? Remember, the factors are the numbers that we are multiplying together. So 2 and 4. The product is the answer in a multiplication problem. So with the number 8. When we multiply, we are multiplying a number of sets times the number in each group to find the number in all. Let's get solving. Please follow me. Filling this out with me, but with our tens, we're going to do something a little different today. So you're just going to hang tight and watch me for a second, okay? So let's take a look at our multiples of 10. On the board, you see I have written 10 times 0, 10 times 1, 10 times 2, 10 times 3, 10 times 4, etc. When we see anything times 10, I want you just to think about our base tens, so place value. So here, I'm just going to be drawing out our tens. Remember, we draw tens as straight lines down, and that straight line down is worth 10, okay? So here, in my first line, I have got 10 times 0. If I have 0, I don't have anything, I have nothing. So nothing is drawn there. So if I have nothing drawn there, then 10 times 0, my answer is always 0. I have 10 groups of nothing. I don't have anything. 0. Here, if I have 10 times 1, this tells me I have got 110. So if I draw 110 going down, I've got 110. And that 110 has a value of 10. So 10 times 1 equals 10. I'm going to draw a line across here this way, so that way you see that. Okay, so now with my next one, it says 10 times 2. If I have two groups of 10, or if I have two tens, 1, 2. I have two tens there. What's the value of two tens? 10, 20. So 10 times 2 equals 20. If I do 10 times 3, that means I've got 3 tens here. 10, 20, 30. So 10 times 3 equals 30. You got it. If I do 10 times 4, that means I've got 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what's the value of 4 tens? 10, 20, 30, 40. So that means 10 times 4 equals 40. What about 10 times 5? Here I've got 5 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the value of 5 tens? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Very good. So my answer or my product is 50. Do you see a pattern going here? If I have 10 times 6, I've got 6 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's the value of that? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Ta-da! If I have 10 times 7, I've got 7 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's the value of 7 tens? 70. So 10 times 7 equals 70. What about 10 times 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 tens. What are 8 tens worth? 80. And 10 times 9. I've got 9 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What's the value of 9 tens? 90. And if I have 10 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What is the value of 10 tens? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So all you're doing when you're multiplying by 10 is you're just skip counting by 10. And look here, 10 times 0 equals 0. 10 times 1. I have 1 and 1 and 1 0. 1, 0, 10. Look, 10 times 2. All you do is do 2 times 1, which is 2, and tack a 0 onto it. So 2 groups of 10. Think of it, 2 groups of 10. You know 2 tens is worth 20. 3 tens is worth 30. 4 tens is worth 40. 5 tens, the value is 50. 6 tens, the value is 60. 7 tens, the value is 70. 8 tens, the value is 80. 9 tens, the value is 90. 10 tens, the value is 100. And look at 10 tens. There's 2 zeros here. 1 0, 2 zeros. How many zeros are in the answer? 1, 2. So when you see your multiples of 10 like this, when you're multiplying by 10, just take the other factor and tack a 0 onto the end of it. See that? Look. It's multiplying by 10. So I take my second factor and I put in a 0 at the end. And now I've got my answer of 20. And also you're just multiplying, or you're just doing your skip counting of 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Let's go ahead and do a story problem with those multiples of 10. It says, Al bought 3 cases of water. Each case had 10 bottles. How many bottles did Al buy? Let's reread and figure out what we know. Al bought 3 cases of water. So we know there's 3 cases. Each case, there's your word each. Each case had 10 bottles. So we know inside each case was 10 bottles of water. How many bottles did Al buy? So we're looking for how many bottles did Al buy. That's the total number. So we know 3 cases, 10 in each. We're trying to figure out how many total. So let's go ahead and let's take our mats and let's draw that out. Let's do our equal groups here, okay? So we know there were 3 cases. 1, 2, 3. And we know that there were 10 in each. I'm just going to put the number 10 in here because I know that we can skip count very easily by 10. So, how many did he buy in all? 10, 20, 30. So let's turn that into multiplication. We have 3 cases of water times 10 bottles in each, and that equals 30 total water bottles.
How do you feel about the lesson? You should understand how to use equal groups, arrays, and repeated addition to solve story problems using multiplication.